Okay, so we are going to go over a review for the exam on ratios. The following questions are selected by Grayson that he thinks that he needs some additional help with. So let's go ahead and go over them. Maddie, knock it off. All right. Harold Sandwich Shop sells your sandwich by the foot. A 3-foot sandwich costs $8.25. While a 7-foot costs $19.25. Complete the table and show the proportion.
Hey, what are you making? Get out of here.
So what you need to do is, 3-foot costs $8.25. You need to figure out how much it costs for 1 foot of sandwich. So what you do is you take the $8.25, divide by 3 feet, right? This answer right here is going to give you the cost for 1 foot of sandwich. First thing you're going to do is, because you have decimals right here, you need to move it over. So 2 decimals to the right means you get 2 zeros. 300 divided by 825. You know that 8 times 3 is 900, so we're going to do 2 instead. 300 times 2 is 600. When you subtract 225. Dot, you get another 0. You know that 3 times what number is close to 22? 3 times 8, actually 6, is going to give you 1800. So then if I do 6, 1800, subtract it, 0, 5, 4. Put in another 0. 300 times actually, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. That's not high enough. 450 is too big. So let's try 300 times 7. So that's 2100. When you subtract, you get 150. Put in another 0. It's going to be 5 because 3 times 5 is 15. There are 2 zeros. So then it gives you 0 for the remainder. So then you know that 1 foot costs $2.75. Do you see that? So this part right here is $2.75. 2, you could do 2. Hold on. 2 times 275 gives you $5.50. Okay. And then if you keep going with 3, what's $5 plus another $2.75? That should be $7. $5.50. Never mind. So then when you add this together, it's going to give you $8.25, right? Which is right here. Now, if you keep going, like to 4 feet, for example, you could technically just add another $2.75, right? If it's 7, then you do $2.75 times 7, which then gives you $19.25. This one right here, you're going backwards. It's $11. So how many feet? So what you can do is you could do 11 divided by $2.75, which then gives you 5. But you need to be careful. Hold on. But you need to be careful with this because remember, if you go over 2 steps to the right, you got to add 2 more zeros. Okay. Once you have this is a linear function. So when you plot the length of sandwiches, this is feet, which is the length of sandwiches in feet. This right here is cost. So how much it costs per foot. So at 1 foot, $2.75. 4 feet, well, it should be around like $9, right? And then you just keep going. All right. Explain why this represents a proportional relationship. Remember in the video I did before, I told you that 1 foot is $2.75. So every foot after that, you will add $2.75 for every single foot, right? So that number is not going to get higher or lower. It's going to be consistent. Next one, Tom can ride 16 miles in 10 minutes. Roger rides 4 miles in 2.5 minutes. Write a ratio comparing Tom's distance to Tom's distance to the Tom ride. Okay, So we're just talking about time. Distance over time. Distance is miles. Do you agree with that? Time is minutes. Okay, so first label everything. So you have 16 miles over 10 minutes. Miles, minute. Put your toy away. Stop doing that. Reducing this, you get 8 over 5 miles a minute, right? For 5 minutes. Now, what if I ask you, how many miles are you riding for every minute? So how many miles does Tom ride per minute? So in 1 minute, how many miles is he riding? So 8 and 5. Do you see that? 5 gives me a 3. Put a dot, 0, 6 gives me a 30. So how many miles does he ride per minute? He rides 1.6 miles per minute. Do you see that? Okay, so that is your ratio. Okay. Which one do you want to go over with this one? I think number 3 is a good one. This is the one we had to convert feet and minutes. Okay. A skydiver is falling at a speed of 167 feet per second. These are the unit rate questions. Okay, so then what you label is 176 feet. This is the distance they're falling, right? This is the time, okay? So 176 feet per second. How far does he fall in 2 minutes, right? So we're going to convert this from second to 2 minutes. And I want to know how many feet. It's probably going to be in the thousands because if it's 1 second, he's falling 176 feet. 2 minutes is a lot of seconds. Do you understand that? So we need to end with minutes. So the ending here, you want feet on top, but I don't know how many feet, so I'm going to put a question mark. And then minute right here. But first we need to convert seconds to minutes, okay? You know there are 60 seconds equals 1 minute, right? Or we could do 60 seconds over 1M, right? So I want 2 minutes. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and multiply. I want to get rid of the second. This is 1 second. So I'm going to put 60 seconds on top. So that way I can cancel the seconds. Do you see how it has to be top and bottom to cancel? Over 1 minute. Okay. So we're going to cancel that right there. And then just multiply across. So when you multiply across, 176 times 60. 42, 45, 6. So 0, 6, 5, 0, 1. You're going to get 10,560 over 1 minute. This is in feet over minute. Do you already see like this is a pretty big number of feet that you're falling? If you want to change that from 1 minute to 2 minutes, what are you going to do with the feet? What do you have to do to get from 1 to 2? This is how many feet for 1 minute. For 2 minutes, don't you have to take this and times it by 2? So then if you double that, 10, 5, 6, 0 times it by 2, 0, 12, 11, 1, 2. For 2 minutes, it's going to be 21,120 feet. Okay, so how far will he fall in 2 minutes? 21,120 feet. Okay. All right. Any other question? 1, 2, or 4? Yep. A boat propeller spins 1,044 times in 3 minutes. What's the rate in revolution per second? Okay, so this is your ratio. We have spins 1,044 times. So this is spinning, right? Over 3 minutes time, right? We want to convert this at the end. What is the rate? So put a question mark on top for 1 second. Per second is 1 second, okay? you got to convert the minutes to seconds, but you do know that there's 60 seconds over 1 minute, right? So in this case, since minute is on the bottom, you want to end up with seconds. I'm going to put minute on top. So 1 minute over 60 seconds. Do you see that? Minute cancels, okay? And then just multiply across. So 1044 over 3 times 60 is 180, right? And this is feet per second, okay? Because guess what? Second is what's left right here because the minute canceled, right? This is still feet on top, second on the bottom. 1 second means I will have the divide. 1044 divided by 180 to get 1 second. Do you see that? Okay, so 180 goes into 1044. How many times? I'm just going to use my calculator. You know how to divide, so you'll do that. It's going to give you 5.8. Okay, so your answer here is 5.8 spin for 1 second. And that's what you'll do. Okay? Any other questions? 4? Okay, what questions do you want me to go over for this one? Pick one. I have 10 more minutes and then I have to go, so pick one.
I'll just do D.
How many TAMs are in 18 schools? Okay, how many TAMs are in 18 schools? 25 schools equals 1 TAM. How many TAMs, so I'm going to put TAMs with an X because I don't know how many, are in 18 schools, right? And the conversion is there are 25, hold on, equals 1 TAM. You can flip this however you want. You could put 1 TAM on top and 25 school. This is a ratio, it could flip flop, okay? So if you want this, set it equal to equal. So then schools, 25 schools, 1 TAM. Well, actually, hold on a second. 18 schools. I did this wrong. Hold on a second. So times schools on the bottom, right? So if I want to go ahead and multiply this, okay, hold on a second. I'm getting myself confused. Okay, I honestly don't even remember how I did this.
You want help?
Sure. I did this once and then
I'm saying I'm over 25 schools, so it'd be 18 divided
Yeah.
by 25.
But then how would you explain this then? How would you explain it? Why would it be 18 divided by 25?
You have 18 schools, and then it's a ratio. In one band, there's 25 schools.
Right.
One
Okay, so that's fine.
25.
So you just do 18 times 1 over 25 technically.
That's the engineering.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain it to him, and I did it at one point, and now we're reviewing it, and I have a bunch of other things in my head, and I just... So 18 over 25, so then you would just have to divide 18 here, 25 here. It's going to give you a 0.72. So then, remember in my other video, I wrote it down. I said there are 0.72 TAMs in 18 schools, okay? I would recommend that you review this video. Do you understand? Okay, I'm done. So we're set.